In this video, I'm going to share with you my 5-step system to becoming a morning person. This is so you can wake up when your alarm goes off, feeling energized, while avoiding the temptation to hit the snooze button and get back into bed. I used to do those things and I tried so many different strategies to stop it with varying results. But when I implemented the system, I started having more productive, enriching, and meaningful mornings. It's just as James Clear, author of international bestseller Atomic Habits, says, we don't rise to the level of our goals, we fall to the level of our systems. So that's why it's important that you learn one. So the first step of the system is to find your why. Why do you want to wake up in the morning early? For me, there were 2 reasons. The first was, just as American author and screenwriter Lemony Snicket says, morning is an important part of the day because how you spend your morning will often tell you what type of day you will have. And that's true for so many reasons. And I feel better when I've had a morning that's quite productive. It puts me in a good mood. I am able to deal with challenges a bit more creatively after that, and lots of productivity research actually backs that. And simply put, that is part of the reason why many successful people are also early risers. For me, the second reason was that 80% of us actually have quite a lot more energy in the morning as opposed to the night owls who have more energy in the evening. So if you were to draw a graph of your energy levels over time, it would look something like this. So your energy levels would peak in the morning, and then there would be a trough around midday and rise again in the afternoon while falling off towards the end of the day. I wanted to use those peak energy levels to read as well as go to the gym before I go to work. For you, what would you want to do in those morning hours when you have the most energy? Would you want to write music or work on your book, study for an exam? Once you know, then you should write it down in your template, and that will be part of your step 1 system. After that, step 2 is creating your implementation intention. This is where in your evenings you start planning exactly what you'll do in your mornings, how and when. The reason why this is so important and can't be skipped if you want to persist with your morning routine takes us back to a study published in the British Journal of Psychology. The researchers wanted to find out how often members would attend the gym more than once per week. They split the participants into 3 groups. The first was the control group, where they recorded how often they went over the period of 1 month and weren't given any materials to help them. As you can see from this chart, 38% of them went to the gym more than once per week during the study time. The second group were given motivational materials, why to go to the gym and what kind of results you would expect, what are the health benefits. Only 35% of this portion of the group actually attended more than once per week. And then the third group were told to write down when and where they were actually going to attend, and 91% of this group attended more than once per week. So as you can see, actually writing your implementation intention down will solidify your goal and make you accountable to it, reducing the friction and make you more likely to go ahead and stick to that habit. That's why it's really important that you do it in the evenings. So for me, I have created something called a habit contract. I have said I will wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning and get out of bed as soon as my alarm rings. Now, I initially did that with variable degrees of success. Sometimes I would do it, sometimes I wouldn't. So to take it a step further, I had planned with my wife that if I didn't get out within 1 minute of my alarm clock going off, then I would owe her £10. Now I definitely get up as soon as my alarm goes off because I have a really good reason not to sleep in. The other thing that I plan with my evenings is that my phone will be on airplane mode so I'm not disturbed through the night. I sleep early enough so I get at least 7 hours, and I will put my Kindle out on my dining table to make sure it's there in front of me as soon as I wake up. Other things that you can do, let's say if you don't have a wife, you can create a habit contract by doing what Thomas Frank does, which is setting a tweet using either Twitter's internal function or something called TweetDeck, where he wants to wake up at 6 a.m. He sets a tweet for 6:05 saying, "You are seeing this because I am lazy and overslept. So the first 5 people that comment on this tweet will get $5 each." So he always gets up to switch that off. Other things you can do can depend on what it is that makes you struggle in the morning. When you repeat, if you were unsuccessful the morning before, plan to overcome why you were unsuccessful. If it's because it was cold outside and as soon as you put one leg out, you thought, oh no, I'm not gonna get into this cold. You live in a cold country like I do in the UK, then set your heating for that time in the morning. If it's because you're feeling groggy, you don't have energy, get a sunlight alarm. That gives you more energy when you wake up as you do it much more naturally. Other things you can do are disable snooze on your phone so you're not tempted to press it because it's not actually there, and then you know that you've switched your alarm off, you have to get up. So once you've mastered step 2 and you've planned, it's time to go into step 3, which takes us to the beginning of our morning. I split the morning into 3 phases. It will depend how much earlier I get up than my work, but let's say if I get up 3 hours before my work day, I will spend about 1 hour in the first phase, and that would be getting up, washing my face, putting the deodorant on, and then just reading for that whole time. Keeping my phone on the airplane mode, just so that I'm not tempted to check social media or be distracted from any of the things life decides to throw at you at 5 o'clock, which is usually not much. And that's how I make my mornings quite enriching and meaningful, because usually the types of books that I read will be ones that help me throughout the day and give me purpose. The step 4 is the phase 2 of the day, which is the middle, and for me that is more the productivity part of the day, fitness, and I will make my shake. I will go to the gym and basically just get my heart rate going. It just prepares me. And for you may not be into gym. You could do cycling, running, anything that gets your body moving. Have a breakfast smoothie or a granola bowl, egg white omelette, and essentially just get yourself physically ready for the day. And then the third step is at the end of the morning. For me, I like this to be a time of reflection. So when I am doing my reading during the first hour and then, doing my gym afterwards, I'm always thinking about the content. How am I linking all of that together with the current knowledge that I have? How am I going to take it forward? And then I basically record on my book notes on Notion what I've learned from that specific book, so that, in a year's time, if I want to look back and say, oh, what did I learn from Oliver Burkeman's 4,000 Weeks? Then I can check those book notes and say, well, actually, he says that, what would you be doing with your life if you would never see the results of your actions? And I think, okay, well, that's a good anchor to bring me back to doing what I find meaningful with my short time on this earth, for example. So that reflective part is really important, because as soon as you look back, that will help you constantly improve. Now, sometimes doing this daily isn't really that beneficial. So I also have a weekly reflection and a 6-monthly reflection as well. Potentially, if you listen to an audiobook while you're exercising, you could write book notes there, or you could think about how your music writing went and how you could change that later on if you're not reading in the morning and you're doing something else. But at that point, my morning routine is over and it is time to switch the phone off airplane mode and deal with all that life throws at you. So, you know, that's why I give about 30 minutes for that third stage after, you know, for the exercise phase. In the middle, giving about an hour and 15 minutes for that. So overall, my morning routine lasts around about 3 hours, and I think that puts me in a really good headspace to then go to work and give it my best shot. So make sure you download the template below, fill it all out, create your own system for becoming a morning person, and let me know how your results are down in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, then you might enjoy this other one popping up here. Best of luck, and I wish you a meaningful, productive, and enriching morning. Take care.